Hello, my name is Drian Hawley. Welcome to the world of game design. Today I will be going over the steps that we need to take when we're trying to install different game engines. Today I'll be going over where to install and how to install the Unity engine, the Unreal 5 engine, and the Game Maker Studios engine. We'll be going through all of that, plus some extra tips on different things like marketplaces and tutorials so that y'all can get a good head start. All right, to start us off, we're going to start with the Unity engine and making sure to get that set up and make it as easy as possible. So first, you'll go over what your chosen browser is, and we will go to unity.com. It's as easy as literally just looking up Unity. Brings up the entire thing, should be your first option. Brings this up. So after getting signed up, you have all of these options over here. The only thing we're going to really focus on right now is hitting download. Hitting download will automatically bring up this screen. Make sure you download for your right operating system. I use Windows. I would hit download for Windows. Now I've already hit the download part, so it should bring that up pretty quickly. And it should download a Unity Hub setup. So go over wherever it downloaded to and activate that. You'll hit I agree. Choose wherever your file installation location is. Make sure you know where this is just in case you need to mess with codes or mess with your product or having to move stuff in and out of the file location, and hit install. As you see, I've already done that, so I'm going to hit cancel, bring this up. So this is Unity Hub. Unity Hub is not the actual editor itself. It's basically the thing that keeps all of your projects organized and leads you to different things like tutorials and Unity Marketplace and all of that kind of stuff. So hit sign in. Uh, if you have to make an account, all you gotta do is follow the basic account procedures. It's like every other website, so go through, sign up with whatever email you have. I personally say you want to sign up with either a personal if you're making personal projects or your school email if you're doing school stuff. Agree to their licenses. It'll bring you to this main page. When you first install this, it's going to probably have a warning up here saying that you need to install a Unity editor. So hit installs. And then you can see this option right here, install editor. It'll give you all of the official releases as well as pre-release and archives if you want to download older Unity engines. I would just suggest download Unity 6 because most tutorials you'll find will probably be with the current Unity engine. After that, you'll have access to all of this. It'll take a second to download. Again, make sure you have the editor download to your Unity Hub folder and all of that. And from there, you have your projects. If you want to start a new project, you just hit new project. We have the learn tab, which brings up all of the tutorials you'll need. This is stuff that is basic coding that you just follow online, and it'll give you a brief overview of how to do some tutorial projects, along with the recommended and the downloaded, if you ever downloaded any. And then there's the community, which brings up other things like Unity Muse, the asset store, which is very important, on-demand training, Unity blog discussions, and Unity Pulse. All of it is very useful for intermediate to beginner programmers. And that is Unity. Next, we will be talking about Game Maker Studios. All right, next up is Game Maker Studios. So, Game Maker is another game design engine as seen. All you gotta do when looking up is just hit up here, go to Google, hit Game Maker Studios. Should be basically the first thing that pops up right here. And it should bring you to this page. Now, right here, I really suggest that you register, sign up like you would for any other website. It'll bring up to your thing. I suggest, again, like I said in Unity, if you're doing it as for personal reasons, do it as a personal email, or for your schooling, use your school email just so it keeps it organized and nice and neat. All right, so after you hit register, it'll bring you to an account page, something similar like this. It'll bring up your licenses, your enterprises, your profile, all of that. You don't really need to worry about a lot of this unless you're trying to publish a game. So all you got to do from here is hit download. It will download a installer similar to this one. As you see, this says uninstaller, but it'll be just like this. Make sure you're placing it and you know where the file location is for future reference, and if you need to do project management, all kind of stuff like that, and just follow that process. After finishing that up and letting it download, it will bring up your game maker page. Now from right here, it'll give you all of your project, tutorials, different things like your marketplace, your layouts, your files, all that stuff. And from here, you actually have your entire engine. It's fairly simple and fairly quick. Uh, the tutorials and all that is actually fairly easy and nice. It's all built in. A lot of these are templates. They're not actual tutorials right here. Um, so if you ever want to make your own RPG, or if you ever want to make your own card game, you start here and it can give you a nice starter to go from there. Um, it also has access to it on the actual page itself. As you see here, it'll have a tutorial page, and it'll bring up those games that you saw, and you can actually follow the tutorials here, and it'll give you like a step-by-step breakdown of how to make these games that they're showing and what to do. And it also give you some room to experiment on your own and make your own little tutorials and games and stuff. uh, a lot of these are very nice and very simple, and as a beginner it's very good to start with these and kind of mess around with the code. As you see, it is not a small number. There's quite a bit of tutorials here for you to learn. Also, with the Game Maker Studios, you have access to the marketplace. So right up here, if you hit marketplace or on the website, it'll have a thing, community. And it should bring you over to this, and from here you should be able to make your way over to the marketplace. Now, at the marketplace is a whole bunch of other backgrounds, tiles, all that jazz, along with tutorials, and it's just a nice place to get some assets or get some tutorials that aren't directly provided by Game Maker Studios themselves. And with that, that is our Game Maker Studio install. We will be moving on to Unreal 5 next. All right, last but not least, we're going to talk about installing Unreal Engine. The thing with Unreal Engine is unlike Unity and unlike Game Maker, it does not have its own setup for itself, so we'll actually have to install the Epic Games Launcher first, and then we can install the game engine for Unreal 5. Now, first and foremost, you have to go to the Epic Games Launcher, so all you do is search up Epic Games. It should be your first search that comes up. After that, it's going to bring you to this page. I would start your account, make your account really quick. It doesn't take super long. I already have mine set up. It should just work like the Unity and the Game Maker setup, so it shouldn't take you very long to do. After that, you're going to hit install. It's right now on Windows, Mac OS, Android, all that. You can install it on other things from what I understand. It just takes a little bit of messing around with, but that would be explained in a different video. Now, you would go ahead and hit install. It'll bring up a installer right here called Epic Installer, which should look something like this. You're going to go through it, make sure you check where your file location is, and you know where your file location is, so that at later times, if you need to mess around with it or you need to install it, you need to be able to know where it is at a quick glance. After that, with that installed, it will bring up the Epic's launcher. Now, it will ask you to sign in. Sign in really quick, and all you got to do is do that. It is a storefront for games, and as a library for games, you don't really need to mess with that right now. What you're going to do is go over here on this left side, and you see the Unreal Engine option. You're going to click that. Now, it might start on the news or the samples, but really right here in the library is where you're going to do everything. You see that I have mine installed right now, but it'll probably have an install option right here. You just click that. It'll tell you about the file location. Here, let me give you an example with this, just like this. Again, note where this is going. This is more than likely going to go into the same file as your Epic Games file. And I always suggest making a shortcut because then it's easy for you to click and convenience. After you do that, it'll have it. It will take a little bit of time because Unreal is rather large. And then from here, you can just hit launch and it will launch the engine. There are different things and tutorials you can do. Some of them are not through Epic Games. For the most part, it is. For example, if you click on this Fab will give you a whole bunch of marketplace for Epic Games digital content. This is usually from single individuals rather than the actual company itself. And they also have small examples through Epic Games. Now you see I'm launching it. It does take a little bit. Make sure to allow access, and then it'll bring up your Unreal launcher right here. As you see, this has the games, it has film and video, live events, architecture, automotive, simulation, all that kind of jazz. And this bottom corner right here is actually the marketplace. You click that, and then it'll bring you to the marketplace with all the stuff, including Unity and Unreal Engine from Fab. And that is pretty much it. That is it installed. You have access to the entire engine at this point, and then you have access to the earlier engines.